Hey y'all, welcome to Other Realm Studio. I'm Paula and this is a bit of a different stream today. What I'm going to be doing is, I don't know, maybe I'll start with pencil. I don't do a lot of pencil work. Alright. Sorry, I had to dash. Okay. So, I was talking about my upcoming comic. The comic is complete. It's currently it's 20 pages of a complete story. But why did I do that? Oh, goodness. Why? There it is. And my other sidebar. Need those back. Accidentally hit my shortcut buttons, which I have not actually set up to any purpose. But yeah, so I've had some review copies circulating a bit. I'm a little shaky because I was just running around trying to catch up to stuff. So I had review copies circulating around, and it's been received pretty well so far. Although I did get some constructive criticism on it. And pretty much it's the main story that I have now doesn't have a whole lot of the other realm in it. So they were hoping to see a little bit more of that. And, well, I didn't want to start the story any later when Becca, first arrives there, because she's not in great shape at the time. You know, she's had kind of a traumatic day. So she's not in really great shape, and if you don't know how she got there, then she's gonna seem a little out of it, and I was concerned that readers wouldn't really give her a chance. So I started it where I did so that you could actually see where Becca comes from. Everything in the first issue, it has a purpose to being there. I didn't put things like that on accident or because I was clearing my throat and getting ready to tell the story. It actually has meaning to the greater story. And it's pretty heavy in symbolism too. A little bit. But, you know, it's stuff that you catch on to after you've gotten into it a while. So, oh yes, this is going to be a round room. Forgot that for a second. Let me find my eraser again. So, even though the story makes sense as it is, I did want to add the prologue in, because that's where it starts off in the other realm. You get to see a little bit more about the peril involved in the story. Yeah, a little bit more of the danger and the action. So I've had a version of that available on Comic House as a freebie, you know, just a download. Let's see. Surely I can make this a little bit. Yes, and this has arrow slits right here. Let me finish building my architecture. Buildings have skeletons too. I'm not going to have the perspective exactly right on it. And I think it's going to actually be a little bit bigger of a building than I first thought. Oh no, because they have these. Okay, so in order to make the comic more fun for people who are just getting introduced to it, I really want to add the little short beginning of it where we meet Becca's mom, even though she doesn't feature into the story with Becca very much. So what I wanted to do was touch up the prologue, and you're going to see it here. This is what's, well, I have this colored in the free digital version, and it's also lettered. You know, it's a full 5 pages, but I did have some nitpicks on it. I did want to add some pages and fix the flow a little better. So this right here is how it looks, more or less. And then there's our ending page. And I wanted to add some pages and introduce that as either a separate book or as part of the first book, you know, to make it a bigger book. And I already kind of had that in mind if we made enough over the goal for me to afford adding in the extra pages, because I did not do this beautiful line art. My style is much more sketchy, and this is all very smooth work by Mia Pierce of Mia Pet Illustrations. And I love her work so much, and she did the work on the main comic as well, and I did the colors. And from there I hired Wes Loker to do the lettering. Well, the lettering that I had for this does not match the lettering that I have in the new comic, so I'll have to bring him back too. Let's see. I can bring this out further, and we'll put the drawbridge in here. this will be very handy for later in the comic. It's good to have the references. Going on right now. So we're going to have a moat around this. And this is just going to be a little clearing. And some little buildings in here. It's a little, an inn, a little village going on. Looks a bit like a barn. So this is a trading post. And this is between the two major nations in the other realm, at least, you know, in the region that we're dealing with this time. And it's just going to have a few buildings, some little cottages, and I'll just mark out about where they would be, just sort of scattered around the main square, which this would be like the main square. And then it's a very wooded area. There's trees. And there are higher mountains in the distance. I may have spent too long on this because I need to get to work on the rest of it. The original style that I colored this in is very different from the style that I'm using for the rest of the comic. I went with a minimalist cell shading look this time. Okay, here's the road that leads out. It's going to be important that there is a road that leads out from here. So in this direction, this way, there's Becca's mom's home, and in this direction, this is where Torrin's family home is. And I'm going to scribble in here and hope that it looks somewhat like trees. And I don't know what's going on with my printer right now, but all of a sudden it has decided to do adjusting stuff right now. So if you hear any humming, that's what's going on. Yeah, the humming and clicking, that is, for some reason, my printer has woke up and it's doing stuff. I don't even know. That's annoying. Okay. So over here, I'm going to have, let's see. So here's our establishing shot of the village before horrible things happen. And down here, there's going to be another panel, and it's going to be an up-close shot. Oh, and there will be some dialogue around here aiming towards the biggest building in the square, which would be the inn. And then we can look in the window and see, alright, how's this going to go? Because it has to match this panel. and I'm going to have rather bad stick people going on. And right here, this is where they'll be sitting, I think, unless Mia says that she's got a better layout than this. She might. It would not be that unlikely. So the reason that I didn't have this originally planned to be in the main comic was because I did have it available for free. I still do have it available for free if you want to go look it up on Comic House. There's furniture back here. Yeah, I did have it for free, and also I didn't have the money to do it right, and have a few more pages added on for the flow, you know, because it's a little rough. It's a little bit jumpy, and I've practiced since I wrote the scenes for this, and I've gotten better. Let me grab this and scoot it up. No, grab this with this one and scoot it up. All right. So that's enough of a sketch. It's an idea. And it's already got the description of what I want to have going on in here. And here. Yeah, I need to do my color layers. I need to remember how I wanted to do those. You know, I might make things a different color than originally. I remember having that problem before. How am I supposed to fix that? Okay, so I still don't exactly have the funds to, well, I do. I do have some money set aside and saved, but I was hoping to save, I was hoping to save up what I already have. And, well, goodness. And put it towards issue 2, which I really want to get started on. Yeah, this is all kind of reading as the same thing because there's a little bit of gap. On the other hand, I have gotten a lot better at colors since the first time that I colored these pages. So I did want to save up and start socking away more money on issue 2. But it'll make a better comic if I include these pages and also get a couple more pages in. And I do have a little bit of time, not a lot, but a little bit, and I could possibly get these pages done, add them in with the 20 pages I've already got. This would be 8 pages, 28 pages of comic, plus we've got a few pages of bonus material. I've done a map and the portrait of Becca, and Mia's adding some more information about, you know, her upcoming work, and Wes has some info to add as well. And I did want to make sure that they each got a good page, you know, to show off what they can do, because they're really excellent. Let's see. Yeah, this is a warmer brown. Because they're really excellent. I highly recommend their work. Wes pulled off exactly what I wanted on the lettering. Mia's style, like, you can see it here. It's so pretty. Very you know, it's not just that it's smooth, but it's so, it just seems harmonious. Now, my style, I am a decent artist, but there's a bit of a problem. I have this sketchy style. And what I've noticed about having a sketchy style with the art is it makes, you know, when your work has a lot of angular short lines in it, it really interrupts the experience of reading the text. I don't know if other people have this problem, but I do. So until I figure out how to make my lines flow like Mia does to hers, which, you know, I can learn eventually. Either that or I do an entirely painted comic, which would be kind of fun, but time consuming. Then, until then, I'm gonna have Mia do my comics. Let me see if I can get some good use out of the selection tool. You're supposed to go around this way? No. Let me undo that. Let's try this again. Yeah, that's the back of the seat cushion. What was I thinking? Alright, let's come across here and not go down there. Up here and fill that in. I can also experiment a little bit more with mood lighting and color. Maybe. I do kind of want to play it safe-ish. Okay. So, yeah, my biggest problem right now is that it's two problems. It's time and it's money, honestly. Right now I can afford to have, since my campaign funded on, well, the first 24 hours anyway, before I started the campaign at 8 o'clock and before 8 o'clock the next morning, it was funded. I can't believe it, really. So now I have the money to do the print run with what I have, which is awesome. But if I want to make it better and include these new pages that I've kind of been wanting to include and get them relettered to match the rest of the comic, then yeah, I didn't think that I would need to worry about stretch goals, but since it did fund so early, I can actually hope. And sometimes hope is a dangerous thing. And also, I did get the constructive criticism earlier that there maybe was not enough of the central conflict and the magic in the other world, because that's where the bulk of the action would take place. There was maybe not enough of that in the comic as I had it. Well, I do have more. It does already exist. No, not red. I guess we'll go with that one. We'll see how it looks. So she's a little bit of a strawberry blonde. But I guess I can do the strawberry part in highlights so that I don't have to make her hair orangey. Okay, nope, not that one. This one. The auto select does not always do exactly what I want it to do. So anyway, I'm really hoping that I'll be able to earn a little bit more on this campaign. Specifically, how much more I need to earn on it. Yeah, I'm looking at needing to possibly double my goal. So another $500 added on would be my stretch goal so that I can get these pages added on and, afford to have them added into the comic and get it printed and mailed back to me. And also, I would need to know pretty soon or I would need to get it accomplished pretty soon. So I'm just doing the flats right now. I really wanted to have it done by August. And I could make it. And I'm so close. So right now what I'm doing is I'm working very hard to do as much possible, as much as I possibly can, to come closer to having more of it ready. So in order for this first few pages that I had made a little while back to match the rest of the comic better, you know, the coloring style needs fixed, and that I can do. And, well, not fixed precisely. I think I did a decent job coloring it the first time, but, you know, matched better. So that's one thing. And the other thing that I can do is I can do the sketches of the layout for the new pages if I can get those done. So I sent an email to Mia, and I'll see if she gets back with me and if she can do it. I do kind of hate to put her in a bind about the deadline, but I really want this to be the best possible. See, I'm going to do this as a sky blue. Undo. And then this blanket here. You know, I did have it a brighter color before, but I think I'm just going to go with a brown for right now and have my figures stand out with more color. A lighter brown. Nope, not that light. Warmer? Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, let's see. If I had like a flax color. I mean, especially since she's not quite as blonde as I originally thought. And then I can go with like a warmer leather color for the seats. I just want this comic to be so much more. I mean, on one hand, it's that I can't stop working on things, and on the other hand, my reaction to constructive criticism, which this is usually attack the problem. And this is what I can do to attack the problem. Fortunately, I have a little bit of a head start on it. I have 5 out of 8 pages of line art to work on. It's something that I can attack. I think part of it is that I started so much earlier with this. I started a very long time ago with this comic, and I would start and stop and start again because I was earning the money a little bit at a time. Because I can't do it to Mia. I can't do it to Mia or anyone else. This thing where you promise that if it makes anything, then they get paid. I can't do that to an artist. Or really, yeah, anybody. And I know it's really kind of a standard practice, but I can't. Should I make this lighter? Yeah, what would help is if I knew how to suddenly switch this to grayscale and then switch it back. I don't know where that setting is. I'll figure this out someday. Now, originally I had this furniture in the background very light, but I think I should make it darker and make it recede more in the background. Yeah, here. Now, is that going to be too warm of a color? It all does look pretty cozy, but I think that's a little too red. It's clashing a bit with my couch. Let's try maybe this one. All right, more of a brown. This is a nice inn. They don't have furniture that clashes with the couch. Let's see. I do kind of hate for walls and ceilings to be too dark. I missed. Okay, I will revisit this. And let's see. Let's pop back to my default color set and find a good skin tone. Possibly too dark. Not quite sure how this is going to end up printing on the newsprint. So I do want to leave a little room for some darkening introduced by the paper. No, these look gray. Let me come in here and find something warm. Alright, that'll work. Let me zoom in on her hair, because this one I'm definitely going to have to use the selection tool. Thank you to David McConaughey for reminding me that the selection tool exists. I didn't have it on my previous program. So I'll just come around here and outline her hair. And then I will be able to pretty much scribble in the flats and gently. I'd like to go over the whole thing and not have to do it in pieces. Oh, missed some furniture over there too. Yeah, and she's got a pin in her hair. So yeah, essentially just scribble over the hair and it'll fill in all the gaps and need only a little bit of minor correction later. Ta-da! That's a lot easier than trying to do the paint bucket thing. Okay, a little bit of white here around the edges where I did not follow my edge very well. There. Right here. And I wanted to go, let's see, how dark brown were the eyes? No, the eyes weren't. Hang on. I do try and stick to the default set. Because in this program, most of the colors that you use are in there. It's got a nice range of skin tones and a nice simple, clear rainbow of other tones to use. Okay, undo that. So this idea has grabbed me that I can get these pages done. There is such a tiny chance of it, but I'll be able, possibly, the idea that I could possibly have a bigger book with more pages in it that includes more of, you know, the exciting stuff of the story, the myths and legends and peril that I do mention in the Kickstarter. Let's see. But that are more found in more of the entire series, and the beginning of it is just an intro. It doesn't really get a whole lot into a lot of the other realm. So it'll be a better story if I can go ahead and include this with it. Let me see. And what's going to happen is I'm going to try like mad to do it, and it's going to stress me out until it's done. But I'll be working very hard to make this Kickstarter worth, well, I mean, I certainly think it's worth more, but then I'm invested. I'm going to be doing my best to bring even more. To everyone who's been so generous and who have funded this book. And I would like to be generous back and bring more story. Let's get rid of that line. And let me see. That looks right. Yep. So the stretch goal for this comic, I've already got, I think I'm at 540 something. And I have, how much time do I have left to go on it? A little over a couple weeks. See, this a little darker. So if I can, I'd like to try and get it funded to 1,000, and I don't know what else to do other than work like mad to be ready if it does happen. I'll have to come back to this and try not to forget this last little bit of her hair over here. But yeah, that would cover getting the other pages and the lettering done, and a slight increase in printing costs. To accommodate the extra pages. Surprisingly, not all that much of an increase, but still there. And I am trying to allow for possibly more shipping because the books will be heavier. Alright, let's zoom out and see where we are. Okay, it's already 10 o'clock. And if I'm going to do this, I'll have to hurry. Oh look, what am I thinking? This is part of this. Yeah, that's the trouble with saying, oh yeah, I'll have to hurry. Because immediately you start introducing mistakes. Okay, wait, where am I? What am I doing? Okay. There I am. So already this is going a lot faster than the first time that I colored this. Yeah, the first time was kind of rough. Oh, I missed a bit. And we'll just pull from this top panel. Wait, that would be her blanket right here. Behind her on the couch. Is this the cushion at this particular spot? I think it is. And they had the same color hair. Let's get a little closer in. And let's not forget the selection tool thing again. I'm just going to outline the hair. I don't know, is there a simpler way to do this? I don't know. A little bit of prep work. It's not that bad. And you've got to slow down and do the fine detail at some point. But again, this is just the flats, and I will be coming back and coloring this some more to get the shading and the highlights in. And also to correct anything that I do in the flats if it doesn't work out. I really like the way Mia draws babies. This is pretty good, isn't it? The trick with babies: you cannot put too many lines on the face. You just can't. Every line that you put adds age. And so she's just got, not just that his face is very little, you know, very simple, but she's also got this little passed out milk drunk expression just perfect. Passed out babies are the best. You know, they're happy. So I've nearly got this one flatted for the second time. But yeah, if you want to take a look at the freebie, little digital version, it's on Comic House. COMICHAUS.com. Just search Other Realm Studio and it should show up. Because I claimed my creator profile, and that's the only thing I have on there right now. And I guess eventually I'll do a paid version of this comic as a digital download on there as well. But first I want to do the Kickstarter and get the printing done and get it sent out to all my wonderful backers first. And let's do this. And then I can think about you know, how I'm going to get it out to anyone else. Clip Studio Paint has an option to publish to Kindle, and it sounds like a good idea and it sounds like a bad idea. I don't know. It's like every other week there are things to hate about Amazon. So I don't know. They are occasionally evil, but they are the largest marketplace probably on the planet. And it's a relatively low barrier to entry, even for an indie publisher. So, let's see, there's a better way to do that. What am I even doing? There. Why was I making things complicated? So that's not bad. I've about got the flats done on this page. I do want to zoom out again and be sure that I have, not that, this one. Be sure that I have consistent colors from panel to panel. I don't want to be fooled by similar ones. Let's see. So I sketched a potential layout for page 1, a new page 1. And got at least flats done on this one. That's going to turn out badly. It's all right though. How am I going to do this? I mean, not necessarily like how am I going to get this colored, but what else can I do? How can I make this better? I've been making this particular comic for several years now. And I've improved in the time since I started. And now I want to introduce those improvements, and fortunately I have most of the elements that I need already. To get them done. But oh, hey Madonna, I got my comments working right on Facebook, so there might be a little bit of a delay, but I can see this time. Oh, there's a mistake. Yeah, I need to erase that out. But first I'm going to gently stroke in this color. No, I went over. So yeah, with writing novels and short stories, you can do things like have symbolic turns of phrase, or circumstances. And the reader will stick with you long enough to, see where you are going with that. It's somewhat less true in comics. So I don't know if that's just comic readers' tastes, the level of trust that a comic instills in writers or in readers. I don't know, but there's a fine balance that you need to strike. So when you're writing a novel and you come right out and say something, you're kind of hitting the reader over the head with it. So you have to be subtle so that you're not insulting your reader. Well, comics, well, for one, it's kind of dominated by, let's see, kind of dominated by superheroes and horror. And some kids' comics also. And those things, there's not really a whole lot of mystery involved. And when there's not a mystery to solve, and you're taking a little while to get to the point, or, taking a little while to get to action in the story, then it just sort of resembles one of those slice of life things. That's not what I'm doing either. So I'm trying to hit the balance. That's that same color as this one. Let's try a little bit darker. And I'll try not to leave these. They will make very distracting white specks if I don't correct them now. Speaking of white specks, when I zoom in, I see more. Eek! So yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly where the tastes are for the readers. You know, every genre has a different tolerance for different genre conventions, you know? And even like subgenres, like there's 40 different kinds of romance, and some you've got to do X, Y, and Z before you get to page 12, and others you're supposed to draw out until nearly the last page. So it is a little bit tougher to figure out, not just across genre, but across a media. Comics readers are slightly different. So I'm going to take my constructive criticism and learn from it and attack this story with the tools that I have. And do my best. Really, there's not much else to say other than that. Let's see. That's more of a tan. I wanted a golden. Did this again, didn't I? Well, since I found that color again, I might as well use it. I have forgotten to wear my blue blocker glasses. You know what that means? I'm gonna be lying awake half the night. It's too late now. I'm doomed. All right. So I did want more of a yellow. You know what I really wanted was the color that Bird's Eye Maple is. Although, obviously, it doesn't have the bird's eye in it. So maybe I'm just looking for maple color. That's too light. I guess this is good enough for a base. I really like Bird's Eye Maple. That is a pretty texture in wood. And it's also got a weird name. It's fun. Alright, do I try to color these in, or do I leave them white and just hope that they read as supposed to be white? So I really hope that I hear from Becca soon. Becca. Well, I don't know why the name is somehow similar and getting crossed in my head. I hope I hear from Mia soon, and whether or not she can do these additional 3 pages before May 2nd, because that's when I'm thinking that I will need to know. I want to have all my... Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this even further. So we'll do this net that's over the hair. Right. We'll keep it close to the color of the hair so that it just adds a little texture, so that when I come over here with the shading, it'll all go together and I can shade more of the strands in this color, and I can shade the hair in more of a rosy color to give it the strawberry blonde look. So most of this, I mean, it is backstory, in the sense that it's not about Becca herself. But I think that including this part in issue 1 is going to make... It's going to improve the experience of issue 1, and it'll make people more patient to see how events in issue 1 work out and affect issue 2. So, about done with this. See a few white artifacts left in the hair. Yeah, I know how that feels, but Becca's mother here is too young, so I'm going to touch those up for her. Oh, that's paint. paint gets a little smeary, which is one reason that I really love the paint, but I can't do that on flats. And fix up just a little bit more of this. Let's zoom out again, fit to screen. Alright, this should be just about everything. I need to do her nails and a little bit of work on the necklace. But yeah, that should do it for tonight. So that's flats on the redo of the prologue. I feel weird saying this word. I don't think that I have heard it enough. Yeah. So here's a sketch of what I want the first page to look like. I've got a description of what it's supposed to be. I have the dialogue in here. It's a little bit scribbly. Then this will be the new page 2. Then I need to do the new page 3, where we get a hint of what the danger is. Page 4, where the danger is very apparent. Oh, and I now know how to do this effect with the burning trees a lot better. So it's going to be a huge improvement when I redo this one. And also, I really wanted these 2 pages to be together, because, you know, the color here with the flames in this nightmare and the flames here, this is going to go together really well. It's going to make a nice spread. Here, I can actually pull that down and do that. Hang on. Come on. It goes here. Well, not quite what I was after. There. One of the fun things about this program, you can take any little section of it and put it anywhere you like. I do try to stick with the default because, yeah, I forget where the things are. I don't need to go around changing them up too much. But you'll see that this right here, this is going to look really good as a spread. And then this, the vertical line contrasted with the horizontal lines here, it's going to be very cool. Let's see. That was going to be... Okay, that needs to be... I need to put this back on here. How do I do this? I can close it and open it again. No, there it is. Okay. So that'll be the new page 3, 4, 5, a new page 6, 7, and 8th page. And then I'm gonna have to look at the layout to see if this is going to be see, this will be an even numbered page. So there will be a page between here and Becca's Nightmare. Which does have the credits on it. That's fine. It's probably a good place to put credits anyway. And I do also have the credits on the front cover for everyone as well. It should work. So I need to save, and thank you for coming and keeping me company. And I'm going to work really hard to make this comic excellent in every way. It started out pretty good. I can make it even better, and I will, yeah, knowing me, I'm gonna kill myself to make it, so I'll do my best. So, thank you for coming and watching me. This is Paula with Other Realm Studio. Come check out my Kickstarter. If you're watching this stream, there are links on there somewhere. I'll see you in the other realm. Good night.